The Herr's Elimination Series is back, and for the second time this year, these drivers will run at the greatest racetrack in the world. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway playing host to the Brickyard 400 tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. Tonight, it's one more race before the big event tomorrow. It's the Indiana 65K. We're going to eliminate one more driver from championship contention here in the Herr's Elimination Series. Let's see how it all goes down here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome once again to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We had ourselves the Sprint Series here on Wednesday, and of course tomorrow it's the JBL Brickyard 400 and the Wah Cup Series. Tonight, however, the Elimination Series is back for the second time this year here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Eric Monaco won here back during Indy 250 week around 6 weeks ago. Caleb ran that race. Well, now I'm running a race here because I love this racetrack, and I'm excited to be doing this one for you here today. Only 16 laps for this race, however, so 4 laps shorter than what we had a few weeks ago here, and only one elimination, but it definitely get interesting with how that played out last time out at Chicagoland. And this gentleman alongside me was in the booth for that race, Eddie Debs, alongside for the call of today's event. And Eddie, you saw how it played out at Chicagoland. We thought the battle was going to be on the racetrack until late in the going. Roberto Crown Jr. blew an engine. We saw some engine issues at Pocono in the Cup Series and Sprint Series last week, and this is one of those tracks where we may see some more. How do you think it's going to play out for that one elimination here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
In all honesty, I think it's going to be up to the teams, what they've prepared for today, what they've prepared for in terms of the car, in terms of tires, in terms of whatever they have, because, again, with engine issues, it kind of comes down to just, in the end, bad luck, good luck, and with a lot of unsafe, you could say, drivers in the back, we're going to have quite a interesting and possibly heart-pounding race when it comes down to who goes home and who gets another safe spot with the final 9.
It's going to be very fascinating to see how it all ends up going down. Of course, once we are done with this race here today, we'll actually be down to 10 drivers. We still have 11 drivers in championship contention, including the driver who won the last race, Amber Palmer, who is safe from elimination in this one here today. We'll have to see what she can do there starting from the pole position. Will she get 2 wins in a row here in the Elimination Series and have safety from elimination at our next race at Watkins Glen? That's going to be a fascinating one for the only road course of the season for these guys a couple weeks from now. But it's Amber Palmer on the pole position in the number 98, alongside her Matthew Hubert in the 7. Michael Lewis, a good opportunity for Michael Lewis to become the first driver who is eliminated to win a race this season. Of course, he is eliminated from championship contention. He got eliminated in the first race of the season at Daytona, but he's got an opportunity at a race win alongside the 79 machine driven by Alexander Rowe. We got ourselves the 33 of Josh Petty to the inside of Andrew Williams in the 75. We got the 90 of Bradley Riemann, eliminated driver, to the inside of Brady Mardi Gras in the 69. 86 machine of Skylar Taylor, eliminated from championship contention, alongside the 41 of Lauren Martinez. Got the 37 of Tyree Cartman, who is eliminated. The 28 of Brian Webb, also an eliminated driver. James Richardson in the 97, still in contention, alongside the 53 machine of Matt Hunter, who is eliminated. Got the 82 machine there of Joey Brown, still in championship contention. 22 machine of Eric Monaco, like I said, won here back in May. Will he be able to do it from the 16th starting position? It's going to be fascinating to see if he can keep himself from being eliminated. The 17 of Aaron Abel, the 57 of Owen Miles, and the 21 of Roberto Crown Jr., all eliminated from championship contention, but Bryce Egan is still in contention. Of course, we all thought that Bryce was going to be the one who got eliminated last time out of Chicagoland, and then Roberto Crown Jr. blew an engine, and that ended their chances at a Herr's Elimination Series championship here today. I almost said Haas IndyCar Series. I don't even do that series anymore. I did it for like 10 years, so that's why it's still in my head. All right, let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Make sure that all of these drivers do, in fact, roll off here. Of course, 20 drivers, 16 laps. Of course, no pit stops in this race. So they have to find their way to the front the old-fashioned way, passing these race cars. And we saw on Wednesday that passing was a little difficult, especially as we got later on in the race. So with all that in mind, Eddie, who do you think is going to go to victory lane in this Indiana 65K?
My mind, as much as I want to pick the inside lane, I got to give a shout out to one of Duncan's sprint, you could say rivals, Alexander Rowe in the 4th position to start. I mean, at this point it's his time. I think he knows it's crunch time if he wants to keep on running till the very end. I think he's probably feeling a little bit down after what's been happening recently in the sprint series. So in my mind, this is his time, this is his moment, and I think he can get around Hubert and get a big win to satisfy, well, everyone around him.
We'll have to see. Hey, I'd be satisfied. That's technically my team if we really want to be technical with it, though there are no official teams in this series. But regardless of the fact that it's funny you mentioned that Alexander Rowe wasn't even in the Sprint Series race on Wednesday. Of course, your driver Duncan Ward was. And hey, last time you were in the booth, Duncan Ward went to victory lane in the next sprint race. We'll see if Duncan Ward can get the win at Road America next Wednesday. Be looking for that to happen. But these drivers are looking to get race victory here in Indianapolis, a huge place to get a race win. And we'll have to see how it all ends up shaking out with Amber Palmer leading us to the green flag. Matthew Hubert there. You got Michael Lewis as well. But like I said, we've yet to have a driver who was eliminated from championship contention go to victory lane yet this season. That is very possible with Michael Lewis starting 3rd. But Alexander Rowe, definitely a strong contender for this one as well. And Andrew Williams up there, but I'm intrigued to see, and you mentioned this before we started, how it's going to go down in the back. If no one gets knocked out in this race, who's going to be the driver who gets eliminated? Because you have Bryce Egan, Eric Monaco, and Joey Brown all racing back in there. Will they be able to move up, or will they battle it out for these 16 laps? Here we go. They're coming across the line. We're green flag racing in Indianapolis once again in the Herr's Elimination Series. Oh boy, there was some contact back in there with the 17 of Aaron Abel getting into Matt Hunter. Thankfully, they kept it together and no major contact, no wreck involvement there. Amber Palmer to the race lead in the 98 machine with Michael Lewis. How about Andrew Williams? Started in the 5th position. He's now up to 3rd. Sorry, he started 6th in this race and he's up to 3rd right now. As Hubert and Alexander Rowe get stuck in that outside lane and they are slipping back here on the first lap. But Amber Palmer in the number 98 is going to lead lap number 1 here in Indianapolis.
And something I forgot to mention earlier, Aaron Abel, as you just mentioned, and Skylar Taylor, both IndyCar drivers. I'm sure they prepared on this track more often than not for the Indy 500 and all the other races that take place here. So it's surprised that they would get into contact so early, but the race is young.
Of course, these stock cars race a little differently than the Indy cars do. And number 17 of Aaron Abel. You know, another thing about Aaron Abel, he was also not in the Sprint Series race on Wednesday, and that was the first Herr's Sprint Series race this season that he had missed. He had signed up for 25 consecutive races and unfortunately missed out on one of the bigger races of the season. Hopefully he'll be back for Road America next week. Of course, we already know that by now, in the time you guys are watching that, but the time of us recording that, we've yet to get to that sign-up video. But hopefully Aaron Abel can have some more chances over there to get some race wins. And of course, he's eliminated over here in the Elimination Series, but hopefully he'll get some opportunities to get some more race wins here this season as well. Michael Lewis, of course, got eliminated in the first race at Daytona, got wrecked out early on in that event, and has been eliminated this entire season, essentially. But an opportunity at a race win presents itself right ahead of him. However, Andrew Williams looking to the inside. All these guys in a line right now. My goodness, they're coming close off the exit at turn number 3 right there. That is a trouble spot sometimes. These guys slide up and spin those guys into the inside wall. And as we saw on Wednesday, it is difficult to make these moves out here, and you have to have the proper run in order to do it. And Andrew Williams looks like he might have the shot here on Michael Lewis for that 2nd position.
That's going to let Palmer get away. And I haven't looked back much, but I don't think anything much note going back there. I think ooh. Alright, just notice Hubert back there. Is Is that?
That is, oh, Alexander Rose all the way at the back right now. We've got three guys who, actually four guys, because that 82 of Joey Brown is also still in championship contention. None of these guys are eliminated, and right now it's Alexander Rowe, who, your pick to win, who is in the elimination position right now. Getting around Brady Mardi Gras right here in the 69 machine. Of course, it actually looks like Alexander Rowe has some right side damage to that car, which might be holding him up a little bit right there, as he is still in the 20th position. Not at all where Alexander Rowe needs to be, because he's in position to get eliminated. Of course, only one elimination here today, as they are shuffling like crazy, as we got some three wide action going on right here. It's a madhouse up front right now, as Andrew Williams, Skylar Taylor moving to the inside of Michael Lewis. And all of this is allowing Amber Palmer to pull away. We got three wide here as that 33 got shuffled out of line. Josh Petty getting filed back to the end of this pack right here. And it's now Skylar Taylor up to the second position, another eliminated driver from this season. They're really getting wide through some of these corners right here, and they've got to be careful not to get into each other. We saw a clean race on Wednesday. Hopefully we'll see another one today. But these guys, they know it's go time as this field gets smaller and smaller in terms of this championship.
A bit surprised about Matthew Hubert. I would have thought this would be more of a redemption race for him, considering it looked like he could have gotten a second win last time. Didn't, just came up just a bit short, and still trying to catch Josh Petty, who has two, but kind of a quiet start. Still, but just to say that, there he goes, right towards Michael Lewis's inside. You think he'd get him? He's got him at least.
Going to be very tough. Lewis is really wide, though. Sometimes that outside lane has a really good push off the exit at turn number 3, but then other times it doesn't, depending on how wide these guys get. And Michael Lewis will lose that position. But this guy's got squirrely. That allowed Amber Palmer to just pull right away and take this lead, but this race is far from over. Skylar Taylor just cut into her lead by half, and now Andrew Williams with an opportunity at a race win as a driver. Of course, he got a couple of race wins as a driver in the Truck Series last year. It's not been the best of seasons for his Cup team, although he still has a driver in the chase, and we'll have to see what Andrew can do right here in the 75 machine. His brother almost got the winner's showdown on Tuesday, but then other things decided to happen, or other drivers decided to take tires in that race. That's where things got interesting on Wednesday, or should I say Tuesday night at IRP. I know that he'd love to get a win for the Williams name here in Indianapolis this year, and this is one of the best opportunities for one of the Williams brothers to get it done. And how about Skylar Taylor, though? They have not gotten a win all year on the channel. Been in the Sprint Series full-time, they've yet to go to victory lane over there. Well, here's a great opportunity for him to get it done here. He got eliminated early on at Texas, and now we got a battle for the race lead here in Indianapolis. James Richardson moving to the inside of Michael Lewis. Same with Brian Webb, Aaron Abel. They're all getting around that 8, and Skylar Taylor has a nose to the inside for the race lead. Next time by, we'll be halfway through this Indiana 65K.
Just watching slowly. I don't know if... Oh, got him. Right there. Pushed him just enough wide.
Andrew Williams might have a shot as well to get to the inside. How about Matthew Hubert trying to close in the 7 machine? Of course, like you mentioned, almost got that win at Chicagoland. Ooh, what a run right there through the exit of turn 4. Amber Palmer got really out of line, and now she's going to fall to the 4th position. We got a new race leader. It's Skylar Taylor in the 86 here as we're halfway here in Indianapolis.
Like I said before, how much of this is just driving in the IndyCar, knowing this track, knowing how big this track is to that series, and just knowing they had to practice for it, knowing they had the experience driving it. And, I mean, if they can hold things off, I think that's where we can pinpoint Skylar Taylor's expertise on this track comes from, I mean, just driving the IndyCar series. Except for, here comes Matthew Hubert. Maybe more I don't know, passionate about this win, and he's going to just get under.
Boy.
Andrew Williams for, never mind.
I always feel a little nervous when they go into that corner like that, and they just start to slide up a little bit. And that could have been a lot worse than what it was. But, you know, these guys have run a clean race. They've been aggressive all day. They've run a clean one. And here we go in the back of the field. Brady Mardi Gras way off the pace right here. About a second off the rest of the field. Alexander Rowe got around him. And now Mardi Gras, if this thing stays green, looks like he may end up being the driver who gets eliminated here tonight, because there's not a good chance he's going to close back up to the front here. The way things are looking, only 6 laps, but we could still end up with a wreck in this race. We still could end up with an engine failure in this race. That's what happened at Chicagoland. Going to be fascinating to see if that ends up staying true. Amber Palmer to the inside for second on Matthew Hubert. How about Brian Webb here on the 28 machine? And now you got Andrew Williams, James Richardson, all in a pack right here, trying to close in on Skylar Taylor, but they keep on battling for second, allowing that 86 to pull away. It's 6 laps to go here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Skylar Taylor. And they got side-by-side going on for second between Brian Webb and Amber Palmer.
I mean, at this point, how much is it just keep a line and go for the lead instead of just fighting out for positions that, I mean, at this moment don't matter. The win matters at this point. I'd say everyone should just get in the line, get in the draft, and just push each other, and maybe they can catch up by the end of it. Hopefully one of them can sneak by to the win. I feel like this could be really exciting if people decide to work together rather than, well, shoving Andrew Williams to the outside for reasons.
Of course, too, the starting lineup for our next race at Watkins Glen is determined by the finishing order of this race, and Watkins Glen being a road course, it's going to be a bit harder to make moves there. Then again, it's Watkins Glen. We know how that race can be. We skip the chicane, go through the boot. So many opportunities to make passes there on that road course, and we're excited for that one in a couple of weeks. But how about Brian Webb? He's excited for this one. He's got an opportunity to win this race. Both Skylar Taylor and Brian Webb are eliminated drivers, and we could very well see our first eliminated driver go to victory lane here today. Matthew Hubert would love to get the win, though, get safety from elimination next time out. But right now, it's looking like we may end up with a driver from elimination that is going to go to victory lane here today. Not necessarily going to be the case, though. We'll have to see if these guys, they get side by side, allows Hubert to close in. But time is running out. Only 4 laps to go for Skylar Taylor next time by here in the Indiana 65K. Brian Webb is right there. And Brian Webb just barely missed the chase in the Wall Cup Series. You know that there's a lot of frustration from that. There's frustration from being eliminated in this series early on. It's a good opportunity for him to make a little bit of that up for the win at Indianapolis. And he's right on the back bumper of this 86 for the race lead.
And here's an added factor to this. One guy in between him and the chase, another guy didn't make it, but just barely didn't make it, is Matthew Hubert. So I'm sure he has
here we go.
Ooh, there we go. He's letting Matt Hubert close in, though, so this might be fun between two Cup Series drivers who just really want to win after an unfortunate end to their season.
Of course, Matthew Hubert is still in championship contention here in the Elimination Series, so you know he's going to really be going for it. But Brian Webb has taken the race lead away from Skylar Taylor. 3 laps to go here in Indianapolis, and he's starting to pull away from second place. Matthew Hubert unable to get around Taylor for that position. And all these guys kind of closing in on the lead draft. You got James Richardson, Amber Palmer, Bradley Ream up here, Aaron Abel, Andrew Williams, Lauren Martinez, and Michael Lewis. And how about this battle back here? Brady Mardi Gras has closed back in to the lead draft, and you got 5 guys who are in the last 5 positions, all still in championship contention, but only one of them is going to get eliminated here today. Who will it be? Mardi Gras knows he's got to get around these guys to stay in championship contention. We'll have to see if he can find some way around them. Meanwhile, back up front, Brian Webb continues to lead. 2 laps to go across the line right here at Indianapolis. We're going to go back to the end of the field, and that was the pass for the safety. You got the 79 now in the last position, and Alexander Rowe is in position to be eliminated here with 2 laps to go.
And I don't know what to say at this point. I feel like watching 2 separate battles on 2 separate times, and honestly, the front's looking like, I don't think Brian's pulled away, but I think he's going to take a line and a couple good corners out of 2, 3, and 4. And standings, not the turns to get back to him. But yeah, what happened to? Oh no, it's Bryce Egan.
Bryce Egan now in line. Getting passed by Alexander Rowe now. Bryce Egan in the elimination position. But meanwhile, up front, Brian Webb in the 28 looking to take the white flag here in the Indiana 65K. 1 lap to go at Indianapolis. Skylar Taylor's going to have a chance. We'll have to see if they can find their way up to the back bumper. And Bryce Egan's going to have to find his way to the back bumper of Alexander Rowe if he's going to have a shot at continuing on here in the Elimination Series. A good run for him there through the corner. Will he make a move right there? Skylar Taylor a bit too far behind for Brian Webb. And now the battle's on for the last position to advance on. Only one driver gets eliminated here today. Will it be Alexander Rowe, or will it be Bryce Egan, or will it be somebody else? Will somebody else get shuffled out of line? Meanwhile, up front, Brian Webb in the 28 has a good clearance on Skylar Taylor, and it looks like Brian Webb is going to become our first driver this season who's eliminated to go to victory lane. Brian Webb wins the Indiana 65K, and the elimination position, it's still Bryce Egan. He is not going to have enough time. Alexander Rowe is going to remain in championship contention, as Bryce Egan has been eliminated from championship contention here today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Such a shame for him right there. One of the first times this season that they raced it out in the back for that last spot. And maybe the position that he was supposed to get eliminated from last time out finally caught up to him here today. That's just the way it goes. He'll still be in the next few races. All these guys still going for race wins, including, like Brian Webb, who was an eliminated driver, going to victory lane here in this Indiana 65K. A race win for Brian Webb, and I believe his first race win of the year on the channel as well. Congratulations to Brian Webb on his race victory.
All I can say is, what a race. We just, like, the series is shuffled up now. We know we got so many drivers, so many, you know, drivers still racing for the championship, now stuck in the back. We have a lot more eliminated drivers, I would believe, up at the front. We still have Matthew Hubert in third, so he's going to have some good positioning for Watkins Glen. But, I mean, looking at this is going to be a fun series these next couple races if people can't catch up and we have more of these eliminated battles while some of the more consistent folks stay up at the front. We're going to have some fun these next couple times, I tell you what.
It's going to be fun. Our next race is at Watkins Glen, then we go to Michigan, and then we go to Darlington, so that's also going to be a fun race there. And I'm trying to think. I think there's one more race in there. I got to remember what it is before we get to the finale at Atlanta. I think it might be Talladega. I think Talladega is the penultimate race of the season for these guys. Let's see here. Let's actually get it right. But we do know that for the first time this season, going into Watkins Glen, there will be no drivers safe from elimination. So that's going to make things very interesting a couple of weeks from now. As a matter of fact, only 10 days from now, on July 29th, we're at Watkins Glen. And like I said, we take the long way around there at the Glen. We skip the chicane and then go through the boot as well. One of the best racetracks, one of the best road courses in the game, no doubt about it. And it's going to be fascinating, like you said, Eddie, with all those guys in the back who are safe from elimination. Well, not safe from elimination, but still in championship contention, who are starting in the back of the field for that race. That could get very, very interesting. And, you know, if you're Matthew Hubert, James Richardson, Amber Palmer, Andrew Williams, Lauren Martinez, you're kind of in a good position going into Indy because you got a huge buffer on all those guys who are going to be going after it at Watkins Glen. And Watkins Glen is another one elimination race, so going to be fascinating to see how it ends up shaking out for that one. Such a shame for Bryce Egan, but that's just the way it goes. And like I said, one of the first times this season where the driver who was eliminated was just simply the last driver on the racetrack. No crashes, no mechanical failures. It was great to see that, but unfortunately we have to eliminate somebody, and that somebody is Bryce Egan. Well, Eddie, final thoughts on this race, and what do you think we're going to see tomorrow in the Brickyard 400 for the Wall Cup Series?
Well, if it's anything like today's race, I'd say we're going to be in for what I'm going to call a banger. It's going to be a great race. It's going to have a lot of chaos, as we've seen today. And again, looking at 15 through 20 on that leaderboard, I'm going to, like, set your DVRs, people. Watkins Glen is going to be one of those races where you just cannot miss it. Congratulations to Brian Webb, breaking the eliminated racers streak of not winning, and that's it for me.
It's going to be fun at Watkins Glen, no doubt about it. We'll be there in 10 days, of course, in the Wall Cup Series. We got the Brickyard 400 tomorrow at noon Eastern Time, and then we have ourselves Road America after that for those guys, so that's also going to be fun. And then, of course, Watkins Glen for the Cup Series. You know that's going to be fun, especially with how that championship battle's going on over there. I can talk about the championship. I don't know if you want to get spoiled. I kind of spoiled a little bit of what happened in the Winter Showdown for you, but hey, you know what? It's going to be a lot of fun coming up here in the next couple of weeks, and we're excited to see how it all ends up shaking out. Congratulations to Brian Webb on his race victory here in the Indiana 65K. We'll see you guys in 10 days at Watkins Glen for the New York Grand Prix here in the Herr's Elimination Series. On behalf of Eddie Debs, congratulations to Brian Webb, and I will see you guys later.